Ciao ragazzi, welcome to Talk Calcio TV on YouTube, where in this episode we bring you round 28 of the Serie A season, our preview and prediction ahead of this weekend's games. Before we do, we're going to start on a somber note, and that was, of course, we're going to pay tribute to Davide Astori. His funeral, of course, was yesterday in Florence. They reckon there was probably 10 to 20,000 people outside the Basilica. Fantastic turnout, fantastic send-off he was given. You know, the crowd with Fiorentina La Viola scarves, letting off the flares and the colour, singing the club's anthem. Footballers all around the world who played in Italy previous, all turned up in mass to pay their respects to the great man. I think what was the most warm of it was when Juventus players, and even coach Massimo Allegri, turned up just a day after they played at Wembley, of course, against Spurs. They were given a round reception by the locals. Now, we know the rivalry between Juventus and Fiorentina, but, you know, for one day it was just put aside, put things in perspective on a very sad day. So we say rest in peace, Davide Astori. All thoughts with all the family and friends. So on to this weekend's games. Of course, it is round 28 in the Serie A season. As we know, of course, Napoli are currently at the top of Serie A, but it is just down with 1 point. Of course, they slipped up last week. Of course, they were dismantled at home by Roma 4-2. That is our big game, of course, on Sunday night when they travel to the San Siro to play Inter Milan. So we're going to go through our predictions and previews of this weekend's games. Of course, there is one later on tonight, in fact, starting at 7:45. Of course, Roma host Torino tonight at the Stadio Olimpico. We will have our reaction after that game is finished on here, so tune in for that one. When we give our prediction, though, of course, Torino did knock Roma out in the Coppa Italia, albeit it was a weakened team at the time. We don't know what Roma's going to turn up. You know, they've got Shakhtar Donetsk on Wednesday. Torino have had a wobble lately under Walter Mazzarri. On this one, I think we're going to go for a home win. It'd be interesting to see what changes, what team Di Francesco puts out for Roma, given obviously with Shakhtar Donetsk on Tuesday. We're going to go for a home win on that one. Then the other games in alphabetical order, we have Bologna hosting Atalanta, the Rossoblu against the Nerazzurri. I think we're going to go for a draw on that one. Cagliari versus Lazio. Well, Lazio right now are absolutely flying. Of course, they were in Europa League action as well last night. We're going to go for, I think, on this one, away win for the Biancoceleste. Cagliari lately have just been poor, to say the least. Their relegation fears are by no means over just yet. If you look at the table, they're just 2 points above. Should Lazio win, other results go the way, they could end up in the bottom three. We're going to go for an away win for Lazio there. Then we have Crotone hosting the Blu Cerati, that is Sampdoria. Crotone, of course, they are top of the bottom three. They'll be watching the other sides around them wanting to get out. We're going to go for a draw on this one. Sampdoria's home form is great. Away, they're not the same away from home, Sampdoria. We'll go for a draw there. Fiorentina versus Benevento. Now, I think it's fair to say this Sunday at 11:30, the game is all going to be about one man, Davide Astori, who we mentioned at the top of this episode. Fiorentina are going to want to win this game for him in his memory. It's going to be an emotional day at the Artemio Franchi. Benevento, of course, bottom at the 10 points. They look as if they are good as gone. We're going to go for a home win for that one. We're not biased. We're neutral in all our episodes. If Fiorentina were to win, it would be the perfect tribute to the man that was Davide Astori. Then we have, of course, Genoa versus AC Milan at the Luigi Ferrari Stadium. Now, AC Milan, of course, we saw them last night against Arsenal at home. In front of their own fans, they let themselves down against Arsenal. They were outplayed, outmuscled, no other way to put it. Rino Gattuso, I'm sure at the end of that game, he would have given them more than the hairdryer treatment as Alex Ferguson would give at Manchester United. He will want his team to bounce back from that one. We're going to go for an away win. I expect Gattuso's words to be ringing in the Rossoneri players' ears. And what they didn't do against Arsenal the other night, it's time to make up for it. We then have, of course, Juventus, the Bianconeri, hosting Udinese, the Bianconeri at Juventus Stadium. Now, of course, Juventus have put the pressure on Napoli. They won at Lazio last week. They eliminated Spurs during the weekend, the Champions League. They're on a high. They have momentum. I expect that to continue. We're going to go for a home win for Juventus. They will be possibly top of Serie A, albeit for a day or so. Then we have Sassuolo versus Spal. This is a real relegation 6-pointer. Both two teams are just above the bottom three. Now, Sassuolo course, were mid-table earlier this season, but their recent form has allowed them to drop further and further down. They are just 2 points above the drop zone. Real relegation 6-pointer. So Swallows' home form has not been great. That has been their downfall this season. I think we're going to go for a win though for the Nero Verdi on this one. Then of course we have the derby. That is the Verona derby. That is Hellas Verona hosting Chieva Verona on Saturday night, 7:45 kickoff. It is the Giallo Blue versus the Giallo Blue. Albeit, okay, maybe Chieva wear yellow and blue and Verona wear blue and yellow, but you get my drift. In the city of Romeo and Juliet, of course, Verona are in the bottom three. Chieva were just about clear, but should Verona win, they would drag their cross-city rivals into trouble. Of course, the Flying Donkeys, as they are known. Right, 6-pointer again on this one. I think we're going to go for a win for Verona on this one. Verona have shown fight in some games. Chieva, of course, looked inspired when they landed Emanuele Giaccherini on loan, but since he's gone, they've not quite been the same. So we're going to go for a home win for Verona. Then, of course, our big one on Sunday night, that is Inter Milan at the San Siro, hosting league leaders Napoli. Now, last week we didn't see that one coming at the Stadio San Paolo. Of course, Napoli took an early lead against Roma, but then they were dismantled in their own backyard by a rampant Roma team in the end. Now, is pressure going to be set on? How does Maurizio Sarri get his team to respond? Of course, they haven't been in Europa League action this week. They are out. They can focus on the Scudetto. How much will last week's defeat have a psychological blow on them? On this one, of course, Inter Milan, of course, they are obviously chasing Roma in third. They will want the points as well. I've got a feeling, though, I think Napoli are going to bounce back, though. We're going to go for an away win to the Parthenope on this one. So thanks for watching this episode of Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Those were our predictions ahead of this weekend's fixtures. Tell us what you think. Like, comment below. Who will lead the Serie A table come the end of the week? And also, of course, later on when the game is finished, that is Roma and Torino, we will be on here giving our reaction. So don't forget to subscribe, Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. We will speak to you later on. Arrivederci. Ciao.